So instead of speaking to you all as a professional, as someone to look up to, I want to speak to you as Heydrick, who I am, and tell you my story of my BARD experience and where I am right now. So I started off where all you are today, as Jeffrey said. I was a summer scholar as well. So from a show of hands, who actually wants to be here? It's okay, tell the truth, you know. If your parents are here, you can lie, but talk to me later. But I'm glad that I saw so many hands there. So I wanted to start off with the experience that first got me here, middle school graduation. Upon middle school graduation, everyone's excited, people are going to school with their friends, everyone wants to hang out together. I was the one who went away from the group and I sought out better opportunities, and that's how I landed here in BHSEC. I would have thought everyone was excited for me, but the first person that kind of congratulated me and quickly snatched it away was my middle school principal. He's like, oh, congratulations, you got into BARD, that's a really challenging school, you know? You're gonna do good things there. Except, I think you're going to drop out, it's too difficult. This is me as an 8th grader coming into this experience, and my own principal said I couldn't do it. Well, he was wrong, you know. I'm here. But that stood with me the whole time. So I kept on thinking about it throughout my experience. But I want to take you through it chronologically. From Summer Scholars, my freshman year, all through BARD, and then to my college career as well. So I was sat in your seats. I hated it at first, just like all of you. You know, mine was actually 5 weeks. I had a 5-week program instead of 3 weeks. And so many classes, all your friends are outside. But this is an opportunity for you. This is an opportunity for you to understand what BHSEC is about. This is nothing when you get to your freshman year and you actually start, but it's a good start in a good location. So upon starting my freshman year, I came in, most like many of you, you know, straight A student in middle school. Show of hands, straight A student, middle school. Don't be shy. All right, that was me. So coming in here, I thought, you know, I was a big shot. Nobody can tell me what to do. I'm gonna get straight A's all over again. I soon realized that was not gonna be the case. I spoke to my middle school friends. Hey, what you up to? Oh man, I got this 4-paragraph essay I need to write. Oh, 4 paragraphs. You're gonna start writing 4-page papers from the start. That was something that I found as a burden. But as I continued through my education, I saw that this would eventually be extremely helpful. I'm gonna tell you a personal story. All this I'm telling you is the first time I've ever told anyone. I wanted this to be special for all of you. So it's gonna be a little bit sad, but it's going to all come together. Within the first month, after having taken all these difficult classes, you know, not being the A student that I once was, that takes a toll on me, that hurts. But what hurt the most was at the end of September, my best friend from 2nd grade passed away. So imagine having your best friend pass away, the person you always talk to, and then also not achieving academically like you usually do. That takes a toll on one person. But this is where I wanted to bring in one of the lessons. Once you're here, just know everyone here, faculty and staff, they want what's best for you. Through that experience, even though it was tragic, I was able to realize that. I was in the bathroom crying one day, sad moment. Instead, I went and I spoke to Dr. Lerner. Dr. Lerner was there for me, he spoke to me. He's like, I can help you as much as I can, but I recommend you speak to Ms. Gessoff, who was the guidance counselor at the time. Through that experience, Ms. Gessoff was always there for me. She knew what I was going through, and she was able to help me get through it. And that allowed me to continue on my journey. That journey was a bumpy start, you know. No more A's and B's, you know, there was some C's, and there was a D in there, and I'm not gonna lie to you, you know. Algebra kind of got me, I don't know how. It was due to the lateness, don't be late. But in my English class with Mr. Garces Kylie, who is one of my close friends now, he was also there for me. He was also another support person that I had when I was going through such a tough time. I spoke to Mr. Kylie because we were in a poetry unit. He asked if he could read some of my work, and one thing on my mind was my best friend. He read it, he felt it, and he spoke to me as a person, not as a teacher, not as a professor, not as a professional, but as a person. He helped me get through it. He knew my struggles all throughout, and those kept on coming. Even in your advisory sessions, while I spoke to Mr. Kylie, I confessed to him, I'm going to leave BARD. This is too much for me. I'm not excelling academically. All my friends are having way better times than I am. I'm not cut out for this. And to this day, I always remember, and I always tell Mr. Kylie this. He told me, you're not leaving. He didn't give me an option. He's like, this is such a great opportunity, and I'm not going to let you walk away from it. Think of it. So I did. I didn't fail algebra. That was a plus. I stayed in here. And knowing that I had people like Dr. Lerner, Mr. Kylie, Ms. Gessoff, it showed me that BHSEC really cares about you. So that was a tough freshman year, I would say, right? You know, losing best friend, not excelling academically. That's fine. I stood here, right? Sophomore year, I could tell you it got way better. After acknowledging everything that I've been through and knowing that I have people here for me, I was able to focus more on my academics. I was able to focus more on me as a person. I tell you this because you may face similar struggles. No one knows what's going to happen in the future, and I hope you're all ready for that. But, you know, this is BARD. You're going to be challenged every step of the way. My academics still weren't where I wanted it to be, but it was a step in the right direction. I was feeling on top of the world, you know, getting better grades. I could finally do this, I told myself. But now, this is a moment for the parents. Parents, where you're at? I see your dad's shirt back there. Okay. Even though this is a journey for the scholars, this is also going to be a journey for you. You're probably just like my mother, who raised me and 3 other siblings on her own. And you have to understand that my mom was used to me getting straight A's all the time. Once she saw I got the D in algebra, you know, a C in whatever other course, her words to me was, "Te voy a soltar en banda." And for the ones that don't know, that means pretty much, I'm going to abandon you. I'm going to let you do what you want to do. I'm going to let you do you. That's pretty much it. That's me as a 10th grader hearing these words from my mother. But that didn't stop me. But I tell you this, so that you're understanding where your scholars are in their journey. They're probably not going to bring home the best grades at the start, but you need to be with them every step of the way. You need to be there to motivate them. They're going to receive plenty of motivation from other scholars, from the faculty and staff here, but then when they go home, make sure that you're also there to support them and show them, even though it's a struggle, that you're there with them. I hope you keep that in mind. I want to talk to you later. And so, with that, we continue moving on the journey through BHSEC. Once you get through your freshman year, which I found the most challenging, you're going to go to your sophomore year. You probably have an experience like me where I found my passion in chemistry. I came from many similar situations as you all, you know. You're inner city kids, you might be low income, I know I was, and some opportunities were never presented to you. I never knew of chemistry until I got to my sophomore year, and look at me now. I'm a chemistry major, chemical engineer, and I'll explain what happens with that later. But take advantage of every opportunity you get. BARD is an early college, and they treat you that way. Even though your college experience doesn't technically start to your year 1 or year 2 years, it actually already started. The advice and the guidance that they're giving you is something that many high school students don't have. The opportunities they present you with, clubs, trips, studying abroad to Turkey or Japan. I heard that Japan is that, and that's amazing. Take advantage of all those opportunities because that's what's going to help you propel in the future. When you get to your year 1 year, I want to say be like me, you know, in a way. I say that because after 2 tough years, I finally got my act together. I was able to get A's and B's, my GPA increased, I was feeling good. But then also, what I realized is that I wouldn't be able to get there if it wasn't for the professors in which I had a connection with. Freshman year, it was tough, right? But one of the main things that started getting me through the BHSEC experience was office hours, or tutoring hours, however you want to say it. That is the key distinguishing factor of why I have succeeded more than some of my peers. A lot of people when they're in high school, they just want to hang out with friends. They want to have fun. But I'm telling you, invest time with your professors, build those relationships, and go see them after school or whenever you have a free period. I know you have a lot of those in your shoes. That's going to pay off the most. Those professors remember me to this day because they were here with me until maybe 5 or 6 o'clock, until I was ready to go. And that's what stuck with me, and that's why BHSEC is near and dear to my heart. But let's jump back to your year 1 experience. I said be like me because of academics, but don't be like me during the college process. I was told that a lot of you are already thinking of colleges. That's way more advanced than I was. I was doing nothing really to prepare. My siblings went to state schools, so I thought, you know, SUNY Stony Brook, that's going to be my way out. That's where I want to go. They have a good science program. Dr. Chapel went there, you know, the whole story. The first school I heard back from was Stony Brook. January 1st, declined. I was like, whoa, what's going to happen now? But again, this is where BHSEC comes in and helps you. My college advisor was Dr. Marion. She's no longer here. She was there with me, looking at schools, getting me straight in line, telling me, you know, you have to start looking, think of what you want to do, cross-match the schools, and you're going to find where you want to be. It was because of Dr. Marion and some of my support network over at Energy Settlement, who I think some of you will soon come to know about, that weekend came to my knowledge. I say this because that was something I never thought was going to happen. When I got my financial aid package, I had a $14,000 gap. Who here has 14 grand that they could just, like, you know, pay for school right off the bat? That limited me significantly. But once again, through our support network here, I was able to make it happen. I spoke to college advisors. They told me, why not file an appeal? I was like, I don't know what that's going to do, but okay. I filed an appeal. That 14,000 gap, the day I was going to submit to go to City College, just because of finances, they sent me a letter. We hope this makes it better for you. They gave me $13,000 in merit, so I only had to pay $1,000 to go to a private university. I got a round of applause, but I don't think that goes to me. I think that goes to all the faculty and staff that work at BHSEC. Because if they didn't push me to go ahead, jump out of my comfort zone, and write this appeal, and help me draft it, and help me perfect it, I wouldn't have gotten any. And I later found out that, I'm not going to draw any names, but a couple professors, because of the relationship I had with them, and a couple staff members, wrote on my behalf to me in college as well. This goes to show that the people you meet here and the professors you speak to, they really care about you. They didn't give me $13,000 out of their own pockets, but yet they had the knowledge and the resources to help me get it from other aspects and other companies. This one being Wheaton College. And so, now, let me move you even further into the journey once I got to Wheaton. I was there, Jeffrey mentioned, you know, I was first freshman RA in 4 years or plus. They didn't really say, but that was a challenge on its own. When I walked into the meeting, they told me, they were asking everyone, oh, what grades do we have in here? Everyone raising their hand, oh, sophomore, junior, senior. Guess who was the freshman sitting in that office? They looked at me, they were like, sorry, we don't really hire freshmen now. I looked at them, I was like, okay. And guess what happened? They hired me. The first one in years, just because I was so prepared academically and professionally that they didn't even understand how I could be a freshman. They were like, really? You're a freshman? I was like, yeah. I just got here. This is like the first semester. Like, we're gonna make this happen, right? And they went for it. And all this stuff was things that I was picking up through my BHSEC experience. A lot of the classes specifically are going to be extremely challenging for you. But if you don't want to be challenged, then why go to school? Why are you here? BHSEC is going to challenge you on a whole new level, but it's going to help you grow. I don't say that to scare you, and I'm not going to say these next numbers to brag. But my first semester at Wheaton, I got a 3.9 GPA. I was like, okay. I was upset. I was like, wow, all right. I was excited a little bit. You know, here I had like a 3.1, 3.2. Not too nice. Well, for BHSEC it is. But then I was like, 3.9, why got an A minus? You know, I was flaunting a little bit. But next semester, I got the 4.0 that I was seeking. And when I'm thinking of it, it's like, how do I go from a 3.1 in BHSEC to a 4.0 student in college? I was like, there's not much to think about. The classes you take here are going to prepare you perfectly, even better than what you expect in college. Those classes were a breeze. I'm not saying it's going to be a breeze for you, but because of Dr. Chatterpall's chemistry courses, I was able to actually teach an organic chemistry course while I was a freshman. My professor was asking my advice for how to present ideas. She would look at me to confirm if what she said was correct. I was like, very good. And they was asking me, how are you so well prepared? How does this happen? I was just like, BARD. They're like, BARD. I was like, oh, BHSEC. They're like, what's that? I was like, early college program, you'll get used to it. And that's one of the best things about this school. You're going to learn so much while you're here, but it's going to help propel so much more when you move forward in your life. You're going to see that the challenges you face here at a young age are going to prepare you for the challenges you're going to receive academically, professionally, socially when you get to college. You're in a place of diversity. Make use of it. When you go off to college, you're going to see diversity. Learn how to speak to all these different people. Be diverse in the way you think. BARD, BHSEC, I should say, promotes this idea of liberal arts. You get sciences, you get history, you get English. All that stuff comes nicely together once you leave this place and once you're in the university or the college that you want. Those are things that you have to think about now, because I know that none of this is possible without me having said, I'm going to stay through this all, I'm going to stay at BHSEC. If I went to any other school, I can guarantee you I wouldn't be standing here today with all the achievements that I have if it wasn't for me staying at BARD. And then now, I'll move forward with the next year of my journey. After Wheaton, I was able to excel academically, professionally, and socially. That allowed me to get the opportunity to attend Dartmouth College. I thought a lot of people didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that was, but apparently you all know what that is, right? Yeah. Dartmouth College, we good? Good school? Yeah. All right, that's what I want to hear. I need reassurance. So it was through those connections and through my academics that I was able to attend an Ivy League institution. Once I attended, as Jeffrey mentioned so kindly, I was able to excel and propel myself to new levels that I never thought was possible. I hope Ms. Guerra doesn't get angry about this, but when I visited, I made Ms. Guerra cry because I'm actually going to be one of the first minority or person of color to hold a pen. My idea was so good that we have the town of Hanover, where Dartmouth is located, wanting to pay us for our product. Yesterday, I attended an entrepreneur event where people from the company Venture of America heard my idea and they're like, you need to apply. We want to be a part of your journey. I'm proud of, but that you should think of. I I want to bring it full circle. I was one of four for a single household. My mom making less than 30 grand a year. That was tough, right? I grew up right by Yankee Stadium. Anybody? Bronx? I see one hand over there. White, you see? I grew up in the same neighborhood that you grew up in. We attended, different elementary schools, different middle schools. That was a good time. But the time to distinguish who you are is now here at BHSEC. Because when I was sitting in your seat, to be honest, I wasn't really listening to the person talking on stage. But this is your opportunity to make the person you want to become come to light. If you want to be an engineer, talk to your professors here. They will make it happen. If you want to be a psychologist or a writer, you're in a great place for that. Bard is going to prepare you for it. I didn't know I wanted to become a chemical engineer, but it just so happened that, look at me now, I'm a chemical engineer and I'm loving it. So I tell you this because no one can tell you what you're going to be. No one can tell you you can't do something. I had a little joke plan, but I don't know if our scholars will understand it, but hopefully our alum over here. Only person who can tell you can't do something is Ms. Gamper if she tells you not to wear a hat on the good day. I have a good friend who will vouch for that. But besides that, you're the only person that will stop what you want to become. You're a moving train. No one can get in your way except you. You're the only person who can put the brakes on your life, and I'm hoping that you never do that, and you keep moving forward, and you become the scholars and the professionals that you want to become.